The Bully Girl Magazine podcast is your dog-eared audio destination, bookmarking the most compelling tales and insights from the vast canine universe. While we passionately dive into the world of bully breeds, dispelling myths, offering training tips, and discussing breed standards, our scope isn't limited. We cast our net wide to encompass a diverse range of dog breeds, ensuring no tale is left untold. Enhanced by expert interviews and inspiring stories, this podcast is a beacon for responsible ownership and breed education. It's where bully breed enthusiasts meet the broader dog-loving community, fostering unity, understanding, and shared joy in every bark and wag. So whether you're out walking your dog or listening at home, be sure to enjoy the show and keep coming back. So glad you're listening or watching the Bully Girl Magazine podcast. I'm very excited today from sunny Florida with roots in Missouri and New York. We have got Kelsey Watkins. She and her husband Curtis run the fantastic Fashion Kennel. Kelsey, welcome. And who is that gorgeous puppy?
Hey, Lisa, thanks so much for having us. This is Jules. This is from one of our most recent breedings. We have 3 litters right now at home, so a lot of them have been placed, but this is one of our keepers. So I figured we'd
Oh,
let her join the chat here. So
I'm so glad. Can you turn her towards the camera?
sure.
I've got to see her full. Oh my gosh. Now, see, to me, that looks like a pit puppy, but is that an American bully?
Yep, she's a bully. Yep,
Is she a pocket or a rate
yep,
like
she's a
a pocket?
pocket.
Now, how big will a pocket get usually?
Usually they get around, depending on the male or female, anywhere from 50 to 70 pounds. Sometimes there's some that are a little bit bigger than that, but anywhere from about 13 to 16 inches tall as well.
Oh my
So
gosh, she is so beautiful. Well, I want to
thank you.
start by asking you a couple of questions that I love to ask everybody. And the first one, and
Sure.
you can pick any of your dogs. Does your dog do anything unusual, unique, funny, quirky?
Yeah. So everyone has their own unique personalities, of course, but we have 2 of them that kind of do their own little thing. Dolce is one of them. I call her my goat dog. She kind of jumps up on everything. She will jump up. Yeah, there she
By
is.
the way.
She will jump vertically up to anything. So she'll be on the back of the couch. She'll be on anything that she can get up on. She just jumps straight up. So she's like my goat. You see her perching anywhere. So everybody else is kind of on the ground and she's up high somewhere. And then our girl Czar, she loves to sit like on her back legs and kind of sit straight up. It's really funny to see that. But yeah, those are my 2 quirkiest girls that I have.
Oh,
So
I love that. Now, when did your love of dogs begin? And then when did your love of bully breeds in particular begin?
So for both me and my husband, we started at a really young age. We had dogs growing up, and then as we got a little bit older, we kind of developed into that, passion a little bit more. I know my husband said at one point he had like 14 pit bulls when he was young. So
I would
he's
love that.
always loved these kind of pitty terrier breeds.
Yeah.
And then from a young age, I wanted to be a vet, so I always was involved. I did some volunteer work and some work with a vet office. And then we both, in our 20s, were raising and breeding pit bulls, and then we just kind of developed into the bullies. It's kind of a better, even better version of pit bulls. So that's kind of how we ended up there. So we
Oh,
both
that's
love the
great.
breed, love everything about it. So and it's fun that both of us can share that passion together. So.
Now, I'm a pit bull fanatic. So when you say better than a pit bull, what are some of the characteristics about these wonderful American bullies?
So for me, the pits are they were a little bit more hyperactive, and not to say that the bullies can't be, but I see a lot of the pit bulls are more like a gamey breed, where they're out working, and the
Yeah.
bullies are kind of a similar look, but they are more of a couch potato to me. There's a lot of pits that have that in it, and they're more than happy to sit on the couch with you, but the bullies are just they'll work when they want to work or work when you need them to, but they'll also be fine and comfortable just laying in the bed with you and just kind of being lazy. So
See, I love that. Right now, Blue will cuddle after he's run. I mean, in the morning, he'll get on the bed and
yeah,
cuddle with us. But during the day, if he hadn't had his walk yet or his run out, off leash, because there's certain places I can take him, my daughter will go up to try to cuddle him when he runs away. She's like, why do you run away? I said, because he hasn't had his walk. As soon as we get back, he will sit with you the rest of the day.
yeah, he's calm.
I
He
love
said
the
exactly
idea,
that.
though, right, of
Yeah.
just having one. Okay, see, the more I learn about the American bully, the more that I want one. Talk to us about the exotics as well.
So the exotics are, kind of they're more. I'm trying to think the best way to describe them. I mean, they're like a bully in a smaller size with a little bit of a crazier look. They have some of the same personality traits. They do kind of have some of the bulldog traits to them too, as far as personality goes. But to me, most of my bullies, whether it's the nanos, the exotics, the pockets, they all pretty much have the same personality, same traits. They're very loving, very loyal. They're kind of laid back. It's just kind of what the look that you're going for, basically. So some of our exotics, are super small, muscly, got the big shoulders, and then the pockets, are a little bit taller. But personality wise, I don't see a lot of difference between all of them. It's just kind of more of a preference on looks.
Right. And you have French bulldogs too.
We do. We
Oh,
do. And it's funny, our smallest dog is our French bulldog, Mika. She's the smallest but the biggest personality. So
oh,
she thinks she's the boss of the house. So, and I have a Boerboel here too. So she's like 160 pounds and Mika will boss her around. And Mika's like 16 pounds on a good day. So it's just so funny. Like the Frenchies are small but big personality.
right. Now, what's a borable?
A Boerboel's a South African Mastiff. They're a livestock guardian dog. They their roots are in Africa. They've just within the last, I would say, decade or so kind of made their way to America. So they're big dogs. They're big dogs, and I've always been interested in bigger dogs. I did my research. I love the Mastiff breeds. The
Yeah.
Boerboels seem to be more of a family dog. We looked into Connie Corsos, we looked into Dogos, and just Mastiffs, Bull Mastiffs, and Boerboels are just an overall just great family dog, and they're like a bully to me in a big body. So
Yeah.
she's lazy when she needs to be, and she's on her job when she needs to be too. So she's great. I love her too. So
Oh, I love that. So in Bully Girl magazine, number 104, look at Dolce. Oh my God, they're so beautiful. You talk about the different health testing. Talk to us about what you do with your beautiful dogs.
absolutely. Each specific bully or breed has their own specific, potential health problems. So we like to clear them all of that. So our French bulldogs, we do a health panel through UC Davis. That'll kind of go over all any genetic issues that they may have or may be passing
Hmm.
on. So we make sure that all our health panels there are clear. We also get them vet checked to make sure that our vet is in agreement that they're ready to be bred, that they're of good breeding quality to pass on. That we want to
Yeah.
make sure that every dog that we produce is a good, healthy dog. And then also with our bullies, we do cardiac testing as well, hip and joints, that kind of thing. And like I said, all of them go through our vet for make sure that they're completely healthy, ready to go. That they're of sound health before we even think about breeding. And then my Boerboel, she has extensive. They do a lot of joint stuff with them, so the OFA and stuff like that. That makes sure that their joints, hips, and everything are of sound before we do any breeding. We don't want to pass any bad traits along. No, we don't want to produce any dogs with any health issues. So health is a big thing for us. We make sure that everybody's got the best qualities. Nobody has any health issues before we go ahead with breeding.
Oh, that's great. I love to make up songs about my dogs, and all I can think of is "You're my adorable, adorable." But wait, it's Borable. I just made him an adorable. Okay, I'll work on that. But do you think I just keep thinking that adorable, Borable? Anyway, let's talk about how you guys are also committed to the mental readiness of each dog, which I find really impressive. What are some of the things that you do?
Yeah, so we start off really young. We with our puppies, we expose them to a lot. We make sure that they're socialized, but we expose them to all kinds of sights, sounds, all kinds of things, different people, different dogs, that way that they're just a well-rounded dog. As they get older, we do our basic obedience, and like I said, it's constant exposure.
Right.
So we'll take them to the beach, we'll take them to the park, we'll take them to the trails. The area what we live in, they're really dog friendly, so we have restaurants
Mhm.
that are really good about us bringing dogs in. We have trails that you can take them off leash and they can run around and kind of get all engulfed in nature. We have the dog friendly beaches around here, so it's just really important that we touch on every aspect. We just make these dogs basically bulletproof.
Yeah.
We make sure that they're exposed to everything: thunderstorms, gunshots, any
Yeah.
people, other dogs, that kind of thing. And we always make sure that not only are we physically tiring our dogs out, but we're mentally tiring them out as well, giving them puzzles, giving them different enrichments to do so that they're not bored, and that they're tired all the way around the board. A tired
Uh,
dog is always a better dog. So
oh, absolutely. Absolutely. How do you handle the misconceptions about the bully breeds, especially the American bullies?
I think a lot of it is just misinformation and kind
Yeah.
of in a slight way ignorance. So just education. I love to take Dolce out. She's always an attention getter just from the looks of her.
Oh, yeah.
She's just that dog is just amazing. That's why that's our star girl. She just is the epitome of an American bully. So usually what happens is we take her out and people are like, oh my God, she's so unique looking. I love the way she looks. And that kind of brings in conversation, and then we can have those talks, like, hey, maybe what you've heard or what you think it's not the same, and once they meet one good dog, sometimes it really changes people's, outlook on that. So it's all
Yeah.
about education, that kind of thing. I love to bring her to the airport too, and
Oh,
just kind of let her
nice.
run around and get pet by everybody, brought her to schools, the mall, all kinds of places. So it's just all about changing people's thought process.
Yeah, I completely agree. Let's talk about what you feed your dogs.
So we've kind of gone back and forth with different brands, different things, and then we finally landed on the thing that works the best for us is we love Diamond Dog Food. It's just a really good brand. So we usually do our Diamond Naturals salmon, get all the good
Mm,
fish oils in there,
yeah,
and then we also like to enrich them with some raw food. So we might do some raw chicken feet,
nice.
some livers, good organ meat. Some of the dogs get beef or pork, depending. Some of ours are a little bit more sensitive to the chicken, so
Yeah.
we'll throw in anything that kind of helps with enrichment, but also helps with their overall health. So we do the Diamond Natural, and then the raw food as well.
Oh, great. And I was enjoying reading about how they sled pull for exercise and swimming. Tell us about this.
Yeah. So that's another thing that we, kind of like to expose our dogs to a little bit of everything. So we bought some sleds and tried it out, and some of our dogs love it. There's other ones that'll just sit there like, I'm not supposed to pull this, so I'm not going to. But some of the dogs, especially Dolce, she loves to do it. So we'll just throw some weights on there. We'll take them in the backyard or take them out front and the road and just let them kind of run around and pull the sled around. And if we can find somebody to let us use their pool, we'll go swimming. There's also some beaches that have some good areas where the dogs can swim. But like I said, the dogs love to be active. We have some good beaches, some good areas for them to get the swimming in, or the sled pulling is something we started early on when we first started our kennel. We read about it, and it has a lot of good
Yeah.
benefits to it. Keeps them in really good shape, so we do that as well. So
Oh, that must be really fun.
it is
Oh, wait a second. You're in Florida, right?
right.
Okay. I'm picturing like all this snow and the dog is pulling the sled. What are they doing this on?
Oh, so we bought these. They're like little metal sleds that have like a pole on it, and you just throw the weights on top of it, and
Oh,
then it hooks up
okay.
to them like a harness.
Oh, that's
So
awesome. Okay. I'm sitting there like, oh, wait a second. Now, how do you deal with the heat? Because the heat has been really bad this year. And I know that
oh,
bullies in
it's
particular are very sensitive.
They are, and I don't think some people don't realize how sensitive they are, how quick, even not even bullies, just dogs in general, how quick the heat can affect them. But especially the bullies are super sensitive to that. So in the summer months or the hot months here, we kind of alter our routine here. So the dogs will
Mm-hmm.
go out at night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
They'll
that's
stay in
smart.
the AC all day. So they'll go
Oh,
out early
good.
in the morning, maybe 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, go play out back, go for their walks. Then they're inside all day. They'll go outside for a quick bathroom break. They're inside the rest of the day. And then at nighttime, we're going on our long walks or going,
Oh,
out back and playing fetch or doing whatever we want to do, but it's important to stay cool, stay out of the
yeah.
heat. It's not worth it. So I don't want to be outside either when it's hot. So I don't make them have to be outside. So yeah, we just alter our routine a little bit so they're out during the cooler times of the day.
Right. And what do you love most about what you do with these beautiful dogs?
I just love watching them grow. I love watching each of their personalities.
Oh,
We have 20 dogs here. Each one is unique. Each one is different. So I love every single one for their own unique reasons. But I love just watching. It's always amazing the breeding aspect of it, just seeing what they produce, seeing what comes out, and just watching the puppies develop. That's my favorite part. It's
yeah.
always like it's our little Christmas every time they have puppies because we
Oh,
never know what's going to come out. Especially like when Dolce has puppies, we never know what's going to come out of her. Her being Merle, she just kind of throws a little bit of everything, so it's always a
right.
big surprise. So we just
Mm-hmm.
love to see all that. So
Oh, that is so nice. Now, I know that some puppies need extra help. For example, the people that I've spoken to who breed Frenchies say they need a lot of suction because of the flat face. Do you find that when they're nursing, it's a little more labor intensive than, say, the bullies?
yeah, I mean, Frenchies are have their own unique problems.
Right,
They definitely need a little bit of extra support. Just any of those brachiocephalic dogs really kind of need
right.
an extra eye, extra help. So we always keep an eye out for that. But we're ready for anything. We have incubator here. We have oxygen machine. We have suction machines. All of that. So we're ready for all that. And whelping is hard. But
I
Frenchies are
bet.
definitely not for a beginner breeder. That's for sure. They do have some bigger issues, and it all depends on the mom too. I have some bullies that the moms just, they're not as good as some of the other ones. So you just
Yeah.
have to keep an extra eye out and give the support when they need it. Yep.
That makes a lot of sense. The more I talk to people, the more I want an American Bully puppy, but I've always been shy about getting a puppy because it just seems like so much work. What would you say? It seems like they're pretty smart and pretty easygoing. How do you find
Yep.
the training?
I think that they're easy to train. They catch on
Okay.
quick. And I think that part has to do, with kind of those pit bull roots. They're
Right.
super easy to train.
Yeah.
They love to please. So, potty training and basic obedience training is usually pretty easy for us. We really haven't had that many issues with training wise. It's all about consistency. That's
Right.
it. Like as long as you're consistent, they'll get it. As long as you are very clear on what your expectations are, they're pretty quick to catch on. So training has been pretty easy for us. The
Oh, that's
Frenchies,
good.
though,
That was that
the
tougher.
Frenchies are
That's another story.
yeah, they follow their own rules. They're on their own time. But
Yeah.
the bullies, they're super easy. Yeah,
Oh my God. Could you hold him up again? Now you're keeping him? Oh,
yeah. This one,
oh
she's staying with us.
my God. How old is she?
She's 3 months old.
Oh my God. And what was her name again?
Her name is Jules.
Jules. Oh my gosh. She is precious. And she has that look. She's perpetually smiling. If you're listening to the show, like if you're driving or you're in a way walking your dog and you can't watch, make sure to come and watch this. Just go to YouTube and type in Bully Girl Magazine podcast. I can't wait to show this to my husband and daughter. They're going to be like, okay, my husband's like, okay, only two dogs until we saw Jules, but you're keeping her. And she's just pretty mellow like that. I love it.
Yeah, she's really mellow. So we have a couple of them that they're pretty spunky. But Jules does have a sister that's available for anybody who's looking. They look exactly the same.
Oh,
So
really? What's
it
she
was
like?
it was a fight between me and my husband on who we're keeping. But yeah, these ones are pretty laid back. We got a couple of them. We have some from Dolce's litter as well that are just they're a lot of personality, but
Yeah.
they're great. I love watching and playing with the puppies.
Well, that is so great. Well, what do you hope to see in the bully girl world 10 years from now that you're not currently seeing?
Um, The biggest thing for me is better breeding. I see a lot of people who got into the bully community within the last couple of years, and their goal is different than a lot of our goals. We want to see the best of the breed. We want to see the best personalities, the best overall structure, health, all that stuff be passed on generation to generation. And I feel like a lot of people recently got into it because they know the money's there. And they're doing things that maybe not ethically are the best. Or I always say, like, just because you can doesn't mean you should. And there's some dogs who are just they're great pet homes, but they should not be bred. And people are just, they see that paycheck, they see that money in there, and it's unfortunate you see dogs that have a lot of health problems that gets passed on generation to generation. So I'm hoping in the next 10 years we kind of stick to doing good breeding, and stick to good ethics and morals. I love to see people who are doing health testing and who are passing on good traits. And I do see that at least in the pocket world, um, there's more of a push towards that, where I see a lot more health testing. People are putting their dogs in shows. They're getting their dogs, the champion, grand champion stuff. So that's definitely on our goals too, is start going to more shows. We've been doing a lot of the fun shows lately, so we're looking forward to going to more of the ABKC shows and getting our dogs in there and getting them in the ring. So,
Well, tell us
but
about
yeah,
the
just I
fun
think
shows.
fun shows are like, I mean, there's trophies,
Yeah,
there's all kinds of things that people can do. You have your different categories that you can go in, and it's really great to just go and network and see how the dogs put hands on dogs. And you see a lot of dogs that you maybe normally would have seen online or whatever, but it's really great to just network and just be around people who love this breed. So the fun shows are kind of more, you get all kinds of different categories. And then the ABKC sanctioned shows are just, they're pretty straightforward with the rules, and those are also great to go and see what's out there. So,
now we spoke previously and you mentioned wanting to do your own show.
hmm
Yeah,
so
tell
that's
us
in the
about that.
works. Yeah. I like I said, we've been to shows all over. I've been to Rumble in the Jungle in Texas. I've been to shows in Missouri. There's a lot of shows here in Florida I've been to, kind of pulling information from each one. So we want to kind of take all the information in that we've done or we've seen, and just kind of do our own show. So that's in the works. We don't have a date yet. Have a location, but I love where we're at here. We're here in Cocoa, Florida, so we're kind of an hour south of Orlando, 2 hours north of Miami. So it's a great location. So I'm looking forward to kind of getting that all set up and having everybody come see us, and yeah, it should be fun. I know it comes with a lot of work, a lot of
Right.
planning, but like I said, we spent 2 years kind of gathering information, see how we want to run the show. So hopefully soon we'll have that all planned out and the dates picked. So
Oh, great. Oh my, I can't stop staring at him. I mean, her. Ever since I was a kid. I think it's a fault of cartoons, although people will say, but wait, Sylvester is a male, the cat. I've
Mhm.
always like think of dogs as he's and cats as she's, and I should get over that by now. But for some reason, my little kid brain in me still does that. I'm like, oh, look at him. Not to mention, I've only had male dogs, so that's probably a bigger part of the reason. But she is
That's funny.
absolutely gorgeous.
I mean, I had a male dog. I don't know, probably 6 years ago, but mine mostly been females. So that's funny that you've
Yeah.
done nothing but male dogs, and I've
Yeah.
done nothing but females.
And it
But
just happens to be that way. Like I don't go into the shelter saying I want a male dog. It ends up
just
being that way. Yeah.
who picks you? Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, all of my dogs picked me. Exactly. Now let's talk about picking a dog from you. What's the process from start to finish?
Sure. So it kind of depends on what the age of the dog is. So what we start doing is we advertise what breedings we have coming up. If anybody's interested in a breeding that hasn't happened or has happened, and maybe they aren't born yet, we kind of have that discussion. But the biggest thing is just people communicating with us on what they're looking for. Are you looking for a pet? Are you looking for something to breed, something to take to shows? What are you looking for, male, female? So we start that conversation, kind of see what the best fit is. And depending on the age of the litter, if they're already born, they may have to put a deposit down, and then we kind of go from there. Like I said, once they're born, we update pictures and videos weekly or anytime that they ask. And then once they're of age, they're 8 weeks old, then we set up for transport. But I like to match people with the best dog that is going to fit their family. So like I said, each dog has their own personality. So some people pick based off of color, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I like to pick based off of personality, what's going to best fit with their home. But
Yeah.
yeah, we like to make sure that everybody's good to go. So they get vet checked before they leave. They're vaccinated. They're dewormed. They have all their paperwork, and then either we'll fly them, and I personally fly with them, or I drive them, depending on where they are. So,
Oh, wow. And you said Jules' sister is still.
yep,
We might have to talk after the show. That sounds wonderful. Now, have you ever had an experience where somebody couldn't keep the dog? Maybe they got ill or something. Not that the dog, but themselves, and you had to take a dog back, or
yep.
they're just like it wasn't a good fit. How do you handle that?
Yep. So that's actually built right into our contracts, which is another part of buying a dog from us. Once we've determined that you want to buy a dog, we have a contract that both of us sign, and we're held to that. So actually, just recently, a dog that we bred last year, what we bred her mom, out
Yeah.
of the litter, and they couldn't keep her. They were moving, and they just didn't have anywhere to keep her. So I went and picked her up. So I went up to Missouri and picked her up and brought her back home. She's back here with me. So part of our contract is that if you can't keep the dog, or if something goes awry, something unplanned, definitely contact us first. We want first dibs on getting one of our dogs back. We don't want them to end up in a shelter, end up in a bad situation. So we like to have first dibs and knowledge that they aren't a fit, and they can come back to us if needed, and then either they'll stay here with us, or we'll rehome them. But yeah, we're always. Once you're part of the family, you're always part of the family. So we give support where they're needed. So if they need support with training or anything that may come up, we're always there to help with that. Any help with the breeding that they may need in the future, we also help with that. But yeah, that's always our goal, to get them where they should go, get them in a happy home, and stay there. But if not, they can always come back to us. So.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, is there anything else you'd like to add? And of course, we're going to get to how to find you and all that good stuff. But is there anything you were hoping we'd touch on that we didn't today?
Not that I can think of, because we're always loving to network with people, meet new people.
Yeah.
If anybody has any questions, obviously they can reach out to us at any time. So we love Bully Girl magazine. I think that the concept of Bully Girl and everybody who's involved with it is just a perfect fit for us. We just love that everybody that seems to be doing interviews with them, or kind of follows them, or
Yeah.
that they're involved with it, we all kind of have that same mentality. We always want the
Yes.
best for the breed. We just overall very supportive of each other. Even there's people I've seen that have done interviews with Bully Girl, and I've reached out to them on Instagram. They've just been great. Like, I just feel like it's
Oh, that's
all a
awesome.
very, very close community. Even people within just the Bully Girl community is just great. So yeah,
Great.
always reach out if you have any questions, if you're interested, anything. Always shoot us a message. We're always happy to help, or just chat it up.
And you have two Instagram pages, correct?
Correct. So at the beginning, we had the one, and it worked well, and then we just kind of got a lot bigger, got a lot more dogs, so we split it up to kind of make it a little bit easier. So we have at the Fashion Kennel. It's at the dot Fashion Kennel, that has our pockets, our Frenchies, and the Borable on there. And then we have our other page, which is at darkweb.bullies. That has our nanos, our exotics, and our micros on that page. Just so we can kind of split up, people can differentiate between the two. So that's why we have the two pages.
Oh, well, I really enjoyed having you on, Kelsey. And everybody, keep coming back to the Bully Girl Magazine podcast. Follow at Bully Girl Mag. You can also follow me at Lisa Davis MPH on TikTok and Instagram. Also, go and get the Bully Girl app on Google Play, or you can get it where you get your apps on Apple. And just keep coming back to the show. Rate, review, subscribe. Thanks so much.
Thank you.